Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. How's everyone doing? Very good trades on the US yen and the euro dollar. Yes, I agree. Super happy. It looks a bit dark. Hang on, let me just try this. Hope that helps with a little bit. Hey Ayakame, hey Mad Maniac, hey Jen B, hey BL, hey Bill. How you're doing? I've just posted a link. If it doesn't mess with your stream, click on the link, help me out with that. I still don't believe in euro fundamentals. Well, you know, it's a bit more of the dollar dropping and the some euro strength, but mostly dollar dropping. Thank you, Ayakame. Am I getting your name right, by the way, just by saying Ayakame? Let me know. Couple of minutes before we get started, just want to have a quick chat with everyone. I don't know why I scheduled the session for 3 o'clock, but every time I turn on the stream or before I jump onto the stream, it says it was at 9 o'clock. So a bit confusing there. So hope it didn't, confuse or send you guys a message at the wrong time. It is Friday, TGIF Friday. I did one trade. It was a naughty trade. I was in bed. I never entered a trade on my mobile. I was in bed, got up, looked at the chart on the mobile, got in a quick trade, and that's it. 8 a.m. That's the first trade I did, and nothing else since. I'll tell you about that shortly as well. Now, did you guys get into any trades from the fantastic, superb analysis according to Ayakame about from yesterday? I did the yen, I did the euro. I didn't do the kiwi. Kiwi worked quite well as well, but I only did the yen and the euro from yesterday after the session. One or two more minutes before we get started. I'm just checking something because it seems to have gone really quiet. Just want to make sure that everything's up. Fantastic. Good job, Bill. It literally just went to the take profit level, hit, and then retraced back down. So I was super happy when I got that. Super happy about that. Then, I thought it was going to continue, but it stopped. Got in on US CAD, but I got nervous and got out. I hope you were selling. I hope you made some money on that, Jan. I'm trying to figure out how to have some background music to this stream. I just can't figure it out. Well, it'd be nice if we had some background music, soft, mellow music in the background while we do this session. I think that'd be a nice addition to the webinar. So if you know how to do it, let me know. I do need help on that. Alrighty, should we get started? Thumbs up, say yes, let me know if we should get started. TradingView seems to be a little bit quiet. We usually have a lot more chatter on TradingView. It's happening more on YouTube right now, so it flips around some days. Some days it's really busy on TradingView and quiet on YouTube. So Guys on TradingView, let me know if you're here. Maniac with a thumbs up. Super. All right. Without further ado, it is Friday, so let's get started. Welcome again. Thank you all for attending the session on the daily market analysis. Um, I I think, if I'm not wrong, this I started this daily market analysis sessions, webinars, live streams on the 1st of March. So we're in a 1 month anniversary right now, apart from the 1 week secret mission that I went on, right? So 1 month. So I've got the survey up there, a quick survey for you guys. The link is there. So if you can help me out, click on the link, do the survey. I am working on something. So once you do the survey, then you will probably receive an email in a couple of days' time just to find out what's happening. All right. So something's interesting happening there. Oh wait, it doesn't let me do this. All right, TradingView doesn't let me post that link multiple times. Okay, what am I doing? Ayakame about the euro dollar. Do I have a Telegram page? I don't have a Telegram page. I do not have a Telegram channel, but we're working on something else. Okay, so let's get started. Again, thank you all for attending. If you're new to the session, drop a message, say hi. We have a whole bunch of regulars here on the session who attends the session quite regularly, religiously. Very friendly bunch we have here. So if you're new, drop a message, say hi, let me know where you're joining me from. I always want to find out. During this daily market analysis session, what I do is a quick review of what has happened in terms of the fundamentals, the economics, what could have caused prices to move. Then we do a preview of what's coming up, right? Today, we do have the US with their core PCE price index to be released. So that's one of the big news that we're looking at tonight. Then we'll look at the technicals. That's why I have it all there. We'll look at the technicals, the way price has been moving, the way it reacts to a support level or resistance level. We put that all together. I'll identify trade setups that I'm looking at. Sharing with you possible trade setups. Not that you should just blindly copy, but just identifying opportunities for everyone. Okay, so it seems like TradingView was lagging a little bit because all the messages just popped up right now. So I hope it's just the chat that was lagging, not the video. All right. So with that said, let's keep going. Quick disclaimer, any information contained on this webinar should not be construed as advice and is presented as educational material only. Your objectives, financial situation, and needs has not been considered, and you should consider its appropriateness to your circumstances. The contents of this webinar are not intended to be a recommendation to trade a financial product. So please remember, do your own due diligence. The way the market is moving, right? And I'll be looking at many different possible trade setups. If you do jump into any trades, please make sure that you're comfortable with the trade yourself, that it fits with your own trading strategy, and it. I've gone off the train of thought today, and if you have any questions at any point in time, please feel free to put it into the chat. Let me know if you want me to further explain something or repeat something. Let me know if you have any questions, about specific pairs that you would like me to look into. Do let me know as well, okay? And also, what I really like to see is, possibly what trades that you got into. Share it with me. Let me know, possibly like what pair, which price you got in at. We can do a quick review, possibly help you tweak the trade or the entry or the setup a little bit, just so that we can help you trade better, trade more profitably. Okay, I was just talking to someone about, someone messaged me on LinkedIn saying that he saw my post about how I was trading the my forex fund challenge and how I passed phase one, phase two, which encouraged him to try my forex fund. And unfortunately, he did phase one. He passed it within 5 days. He passed phase one in 5 days, and then he failed phase two, I think, within the day, right? Just because he went super big on a trade, I think on a trade or two trades, and then he hit the maximum equity drawdown. So it's very interesting, and you guys with the link, you would know, that's one of the thoughts I'm heading towards, the prop trading, because a lot of people are contacting me about that. So I found it quite interesting that more and more people are trying that, but also a lot of people are failing that, right? So it's a dual approach, right? At the start, you have to go hard, you have to make the kind of returns. Then after that, you can go a bit slower. So it's really flipping your mindset. Quite interesting, but I'll share a lot more about that later on, right? Morning, Leader. Finally arrived early enough. And hi, Nick. How are you doing? So let's keep going. Looking at the news. Oh, look at the euro. Oh, that's a Kiwi. Okay. I was looking at the euro dollar. Euro dollar not doing too much. Okay. Looking at the news from yesterday, a little bit surprising that the final GDP number quarter on quarter for the US was released at a 2.6%. Was a 2.7, expected 2.7. I was telling you guys, I didn't expect a surprise here. I was looking at 2.7 as well. So it came out at 2.6, which actually saw I wouldn't say that it was the main thing that caused the dollar to weaken, right? It wasn't a big enough news. It wasn't a big enough difference to cause the dollar to weaken, right? But it was one of the contributing factors. So we had that unemployment claims, no change, well, no significant change there. And then for today, we had early morning, we had some news on the yen at 7:30, core CPI year on year still increasing, right? Well, not increasing, but growing faster than expected at 3.2%, expected 3.1, was at 3.3. And then we had some Chinese PMI numbers, and then not much else, right? We had GDP numbers for the UK, but I'm not super concerned about the GDP number for the UK at this point in time, right? So remember, when we did the fundamentals education session a couple of weeks back already now, there are themes. There are themes to when to pay attention to economics or which economic data to pay attention to. I do have a list of economic news that I pay attention to, but it's not all of the news all the time. Right now, it's really the inflation, it's really the interest rate decision, a little bit of GDP, but we know which ones we'll pay more attention to, okay? Oh, interesting. Why did that flag as purple? Hey Fox 107, how are you doing? From Berlin, German market looking strong. I was going to talk to you about that as well. And my broker is showing DXM3. I know which broker you're talking about, which is different from one which you have shared. It is slightly different. Okay, so remember that when we talk about the DXY is a dollar index. Okay, a lot of brokers, a lot of different sources do provide a DXY, right? They do provide a dollar index calculation. And sometimes it is a little bit different where the price is different because the composition that makes up the DXY is, yeah, I know, it's a little bit different. Okay, the composition is a little bit different. It's 50 something percent euro dollar, then pound, then CAD, then the other smaller currencies or the other currencies. So it just depends on that percentage. All right. And if you're looking at the DXY underscore M3 from IC Markets, then I would say that I do use that as well. I use that on my MT4. It is a little bit different, but in general, you can see the prices moving in the same direction, right? So because we don't trade the DXY, we use it more as a gauge towards that dollar strength or that dollar weakness. So it's going to, you don't really focus too much on that number, but more that directional levels, okay? Then, where was that news I had? German. I think it was yesterday. Let me just check yesterday. We had Spanish, we had German CPI at 0.8% month to month. Yeah, that was the one. Okay, and then good morning from Curacao. Hey, PSA 4 Trading. Good to have you here. Welcome, you're a new attendee. Okay, so what else we have today is at 5 p.m. the CPI flash estimate for the Eurozone and also the core CPI flash estimate for the Eurozone. You can see we're looking like CPI flash estimate is going to go from an 8.5 to a 7.1 and core CPI from a 5.6 to a 5.7. If we do see CPI drop from 8.5 to a 7.1 or even a 7 or maybe 6.9, then remember that over the last couple of meetings, the ECB meetings, President Lagarde or Chair Lagarde was saying that the interest rate decision for the Eurozone was 50 basis points in March, but following on from that, it's going to be data dependent. It's going to be data dependent. So that's going to be quite interesting if CPI or inflation does signal that it is slowing down. Okay, so you can see that in March, 8.6 expected, 8.3 came out 8.5. So if this does signal that inflation growth is slowing down, then we might see some weakness on the euro because the market is going to possibly start pricing in the likelihood of the ECB slowing down on the interest rates decision. So maybe not a 50 basis point rate hike at the next meeting, maybe a 25 basis point rate hike. Okay, still a bit early days right now to try and focus too much on the interest rate decision from the ECB. So we might see some volatility here with the Eurozone CPI data being released at 5 p.m. With anticipation that if we see this slowing down, we might see the euro dropping lower slightly. All right. Hi, I am Miko. How are you doing? Okay. But the main focus, but I don't want to put it's not the biggest thing. All right. Core PCE price index tonight, 8:30 GMT plus 8 for the US. It is important, but it's a month-to-month number. There are a lot of other data. There's a lot of uncertainty still in the market at this point. So I'm going to be a bit cautious. I might see some volatility here with this news release, but I don't think it's going to be that super big price mover. Okay, and also I want to warn everyone. Just remember that. Hey Lydia, how are you doing? Just remember everyone that today is Friday, so we are heading into the weekend. Markets are heading into the weekend, It is the end of the month, end of the week. It is the end of the month, and it's also towards the end of the quarter. We're most likely going to see quite choppy price action today, later on today, okay, especially with the core PCE price index to be released. I do think that if you look at this, generally it does come out as expected. The last time round in Feb, it came out slightly higher. The month-to-month number, so no big. I don't think we're going to see a major surprise there. Okay, and then we do have the CAD with the Canadians with their GDP number as well, going from a minus 0.1 to a 0.4. If that does come out at a 0.4, CAD could strengthen. And those of you looking to sell the US CAD or have been selling the US CAD, it is on a big downward trend. We could see a continuation of the trend to the downside. Ultimately, it still comes down to where the dollar index is, or what the dollar index is going to be doing as well. Okay, so with that said, we'll look at the dollar index and look at that. I was hoping or looking for that bounce around and then the big strong breakout. If that happened, if that bounce around and then a big strong breakout down, I would have said that it would be a more sustained drop to the downside because of that consolidation, the recoil, and then the big breakout for the downside. Didn't happen, right? It did break out to the downside, but I didn't have that big recoil. Right after we spoke, this was at 3 o'clock. Remember, we were talking about this as it was testing that trend line, and then at 3 o'clock, at 4 o'clock, it broke down, tested, and then went all the way down, pretty much towards that 102 support level. Okay, so you can see again the importance of developing that bias, firstly on the dollar index, to drive the possible setups right across the board on all the other currency pairs. So very happy. It did almost pretty much as we expected, broke out of that trend line down towards that 102 support level. It found 102, right? It came very close. It found 102, and now it's bouncing back up, right? It's bouncing back up. I do think that, especially that it's found 102, we might see a more sustained push to the upside. Okay. Also, with the PCE price index to be released later, if it does come out at 0.4, at that, if it doesn't come out lower than 0.4, let's say if it doesn't come out lower than 0.4, then it's going to signal to the Fed that, hey, still looks like they could continue on with their rate increase, right? Markets, why it dropped that strongly down, markets were pricing in or starting to price in some expectation that the Feds could slow down on future rate increases, right? That's why we saw this break to the downside, tested 102, and now looking to bounce back up. So if I did that, just to do a quick check, nope, not that. Not that at all. Okay. If it did come back up to this point, I would say right now, I'm still not convinced that it's a sustained push back up towards the what was support, now resistance level. Okay, so I would say that if it breaks above that 102.40 level, which is almost that 50% level, then we're going to see it come back up towards that 102.80, back towards this range again. Okay, similar to what happened here, right? It was this one Friday ago, just 1 week ago, where we saw it come down, test. It's almost like a repeat. Come down, test this level, bounce back up on Friday, tested that, well, Friday shot all the way back up to the 103.40 level. I don't think it's going to shoot all the way back up, but we're looking for this to come back up now. So I'm looking for a possible retrace back to this range. Okay, let's just take these away for now because it's broken those levels. So the main thing is that we could be seeing it come up past that 102.40 level, about there, make it a dotted line, right? It's very close. If it sustains the push, then we're going to see it possibly come towards 102.80. Any questions so far? So that's the 31st of March. We're looking at DXY reached 102, looking for a retrace to the 102.80 level. Let me just have a look. 102, let's do 102.60 level for now, with the max at 102.80, I think. Okay, so we're looking at possibly some strength on the dollar, especially if it breaks above 102.40. Okay, all good. All right, cool. So that's pushing up. So as we expect the dollar to be pushing up, then we look at the charts, and that's why you see all that big retrace back down. How many of you did get onto this Kiwi dollar trade? Right, we talked about this yesterday. We said Kiwi looking to buy 0.6250, stop loss 20, take profit 40. That was this trade to the upside. Anyone did that? Put it into the chat. Let me know. I didn't. I would love to have got into this trade, but I was busy on the yen during that time. I was busy on the yen and the euro, so I couldn't enter too many trades. So anyone got into the Kiwi dollar? I'll take that away for now. Okay. If I was talking to you guys at 10 o'clock this morning, 9, 10, 11 o'clock this morning, I would have said, hey, look, it's gone up. It tested that 0.6295 level. Last time it did that, it retraced all the way back down. So now, this morning, given that it's hit that level, I'm expecting it to retrace back down. Okay, wouldn't have been a trade that I got into because the trend was to the upside, but we're looking for this to turn back down. Okay, so I would have identified that. Let me just do that. So considering I hit this level and then it hit this level here, that resistance level held strong, and that's why we see it trading back down, retracing back down. At this point right now at 6255, there, very strong push to the downside because the dollar is gaining that strength upwards. Right, dollar is gaining that strength upwards. I wouldn't be advising you to sell at this point, just because if you're looking to sell down from here, you all know the drill is that your take profit at best would be along this trend line, 40 pips. Your stop loss might be 40. You're looking at a 1:1 risk reward ratio to the downside. Could happen, but not the best trade, right? Not the best trade that I would suggest. What I would instead look for, I know BL takes a break down, test 0.6220, bounce back up, then I'll be looking for a possible buy back up again, right? Back up to that level. Stop loss about 20 pips. Take profit 60 pips, a 1:3 risk reward ratio to the upside. Okay, so but I think this is going to be a next week kind of event, a next week kind of trade, not something today. I think the Trading view chat is still a bit wacky. Just let me try something. Yeah, can't. Let me just try this. Okay, I don't know. All right. So that's my view on the Kiwi dollar. All right. Looks like it's going to drop down. Not going to get into a trade. Possibly into next week. Look for it to bounce off 6220 to buy back up. So the view on the Kiwi dollar here is possibly no trade, but we're looking for it to price to track down to 0.6220. Okay, all good, all good. Let me know if it's good. Then we'll look into the Aussie. Aussie as well, tracking strongly to the downside. Hey, it's a repeat of what happened on, well, correlation to what happened on the Kiwi dollar. Unfortunately, this one did shoot up and then after that turned back down. So that would have been a trade that we would have lost on. Right? It did go up to about less than 20 pips. So if you did get into that trade, if I did get into that trade, I would have lost as well. Okay, so I didn't get into this trade. I was focused on the yen and the euro dollar. Very similar to the Kiwi dollar is that as this forms, right? If it does come down and break below that trend line and the support level at 6670, right? This is very close to 6670, then we're going to see further downside. Dollar strength going to push this down. So if we do see that dollar strength, then what you could be looking for here is a sell down 6665. Very tight trade, about 20 to 30 pip to the downside, 25 to 30 pips, 15 pip stop loss. You're looking at a 1:2 risk reward ratio to the downside here on the Aussie dollar. Okay. Could it break this level all the way down? Maybe, but I would say that the lowest for now 6625. So maybe your take profit can go to 30 to 40 pips. You're still looking at a 1:2 risk reward ratio. I'll be watching dollar index reaching 102.83, filling the mini gap if possible today, and hopefully it can from there drop back down so that I will enter to buy other pairs. Otherwise, I'm not trading today. Good profits from yen pairs this week. Very good profits from yen pairs. I was super happy. Yes, I am looking for dollar possibly to get up. I'm not sure that it will drop back down again today, but does look like it's going to push up. Okay, so because dollar is pushing up, we're looking to sell the Aussie down from 0.6. I forgot again. 6665. 6665. Stop loss about 20. TP about 40. Okay, there we go. So this one as a revision, stop loss was about 20, TP about 40, just at that low point there. So 1:2 to the downside. Okay, now to my favorite pair for this week. My favorite pair for this week. Look at that. I'll tell you go. I did. Why is it so small? Okay. I did get into, take that away for now because it didn't retrace as much. So as we were talking, right, that day, well, yesterday, as we were talking, we're saying that, okay, it's found or it's rejected that 23.6 fib level. It's bouncing up. So I did get in, right? Right after the session ended, I got into that trade. And then this thing's annoying me. So I did get into that trade at about that 132.55 level, thereabouts. And then I actually had a bit more of a take profit. So I had it at 133. So I had it right at 133. I wanted to test that level. It sat there, and then after that, later into the night, it got to very close, and then I closed out. Right, it spiked up and just went, okay, it's close enough to 133. I got off that trade. So I was very happy with that move. Almost, I think that was about a 45 pip move. So I was about there, yeah, about 45 pip move to the upside. So that was done. And then this morning, right, I got up and then I saw this push up. I saw this continue and I saw it breaking that 133 level. And then I went, oh, it's pushing up. I just got up. I saw it. I saw that continuation of the move. So first ever time I did a trade. I usually use the mobile to close trades, but it's the first ever time I actually entered a trade on a mobile. I think above 133, just as it broke 133, I had a 30 pip take profit, right? Because it's really troublesome to type in the number for your stop loss and take profit number. So it was annoying. I just quickly put in something like that. Not something like that, exactly that. 30 pip take profit, 30 pip stop loss. And then I got up and went on with my day straight away, almost straight away. It shot up, hit my 30 pips, right? So that was the one, and I thought, oh man, that was fortunate it did that, because if I did any more, it would have just gone back down and hit my stop loss. Very naughty trade because it was minimal analysis. It was just like a impulse move pushing up through the night. Last night I was looking for it to break 133 or to trade up to 133. So this morning, turned on to go, oh wow, it's breaking, rushed into a trade, made 30 pips and got out. So it's not all the time. It's not all the time that I do, or I do, as much as I want to say, you have to always stick to analysis, do all the analysis at the same, in the same approach. Because I made money on the euro, I shall show you later, and also on the yen yesterday. So I was taking on a little bit more risk and rush into that trade. Okay. Do you sometimes use grids? I don't actually use grids. I've only heard about grids about a year ago. I still don't understand fully the concepts of grids and how it makes money. It looks like very high risk. That, Mad Maniac, do you think it's worth for me to explore more into grids? Grid is risky. Grid, GRID, is risky, and greed, GREED, is risky as well. Okay, M Leader said, Jin, do you think it will still push further up today? UJ still looks super bullish, 133.78 or 134.40 possible. Hey, I'll tell you that I am still looking for that upside, but this needs to break above. If this breaks above, that dollar strength is likely to push the yen higher, right? The dollar strength, we all know dollar strength to US yen is going to go higher. So that's why I'm still looking for that upward move. I like how it's resisted, but now it's a support, right? It's bouncing off of that support level. My next level I had is at 135. So yeah, 134.40. There is a bit of a hesitation level at about this point here, 133.84. So you have 133.78 about there. So it's, in those levels there. Okay, so I am looking for yen to push higher. There we go. Okay, I am looking for yen to push higher. Typically, what I would say is that this upward trend line is still supporting the push. Might be a close of the candle soon, right? A pin bar and a close of the candle soon could lead that push higher. We have 20 minutes to that point. Ideally, what I would say is that you look for a close above 133.30, 133.40. You have a bit of, let's be a bit safer. 133.40 stop loss will be below, so it could be a 50 pip stop loss. Your immediate decision level is about 40, but then I'm looking at possibly even 150. I don't think it will get to 150, but you can't rule it out. On Wednesday, look at the where is it? Look at the yen. It did rise up by 240 pips to the upside, and then on Thursday, although it doesn't look like a lot, it did rise up by 130 pips as well, right? Well, almost. All the way to there. Even that was almost 100 pips, is 70 something pips. So I am looking for an upward move. This morning I already had one trade. I'm looking for the continuation. So 133.40, 50 pip stop loss, 150 pip TP. Could come back down and bounce. If it does come back down and bounce off this level again, which it's not confirmed that it's going to do a straight up push, so it could do that and then push up. That would give us a chance to get in a little bit earlier, but I think the safer one would be 133.40. Okay, 133.40. Oh, no. Buy 133.40. Stop loss 50. TP 150. All right. Okay, grid is risky. It's Friday and month end. Anything can be possible. Yes, anything can be possible. Hopefully, to the right direction. What was I going to say as well? Good morning, Angel Case. Good to have you here. I was wondering, where is Angel Case? Where is she? Where? I was going to say something about yen. What was I going to say about yen? That's pushing up. Yen. Oh, okay. So one thing that you guys, as we do this stream, I do try to direct the trade setups to be a bit more safe, to be a bit safer. All right. So just remember that a lot of times if it does bounce, then I could even be looking for myself even maybe a bit earlier entry at about 133.20. But to be safe, I would say 133.40. NFP today or next week? It is next week. It is next week. Yes. It's definitely not today. It is Friday next week. NFP. Okay. So we've done US yen, pound, dollar, shot up, hit that 1.24 level, right? Remember, look for 1.24 to test. I think we've been talking about this through the week already. Where was it? I was looking for it to get to 1.24, test and reject. Wasn't able to signal out to you guys at that point in time, but we saw that test and it reject back down. Okay, so looking like it's trading lower again because of that dollar strength. It's coming very close, and it looks like it's going to come down to this key level of 1.2360. How many of you like to do a counter trend trade? If you're a counter trend trader, let me know. If you like counter trend trades, let me know. Okay, so I just extended that upward trend line. If it does break, and if you're a counter trend trader, you might be looking to sell this down. if you do sell it down, say for example, below that 1.2355 level, which is very soon, 20 pip stop loss, 40, 50 pip take profit, there is a bit of a hesitation at that 1.2340 level or 35 level. Okay, so if you're looking to sell down, that would be the trade. But for me, I would not be looking to sell this down. I do counter trend at resistance level. Yeah, man, Maniac. So that would be in the good, the Aussie and the Kiwi would have been good place to sell down. Pound now also looking like a selling down. I would say that it's a little bit late, especially with that trend line there, and you can see that this trend line has held. All right, it's held quite strong. So I wouldn't be comfortable selling down, but that would be a trade if you wanted to sell down. Okay, so at about 1.2350, 20 pip stop loss, 50 pip take profit. Where am I? Okay, euro dollar, pound dollar sell, 1.2350, stop loss about 20, TP about 40, 50. Pound took me out at the peak and went down. No way. No way. Pound, yeah, it's we were expecting that, right? Based on what we were writing for the whole week already, we were saying wait for it to get to 1.24 and then look to sell down from 1.24. So that's happened already. Euro dollar is the other one. Look at that. I did this trade. I'm so happy I did this trade. Got in, right? I actually got in a little bit earlier, so I did see that drawdown, and then that bounced back up, and then it went hit my take profit level, right? A good 50 pips up, and then after that, I was out. So I'm very happy with that 50 pip move to the upside. Okay, euro sell looks more promising if counter trade. It does look a little bit more promising. No, I would say that it looks like it's setting up better. Okay, why I say that is just sit there, have that patience, look for it to break that 108.60 level, this level here, and then we could see a big move down. Right, I know it is a little bit more waiting. It's about 20 pips more to go. You could look at 108.60, so 108.55, about there. Just as it breaks that level, then you're going to see a 20 pip stop loss, a 40 pip take profit. You could even go a lot lower from this point. Okay, so we're looking for that push down. I see a question on the pound yen angel case. I'll get to that. Euro dollar, we're looking to sell down from I forgot again. 1.08 55, 20 pips and 40, 50 pips. 108 55, stop loss 20, TP 50. Very similar move to the pound dollar. And if I were to, why I say that I would prefer the euro than the pound is just because pound has that trend line quite close. So if you did sell down, it could just come down here and bounce back up. Compared to the euro, if it did break, it would break the support and the trend line, and we can see pretty much a clear move, potentially a clear move down. Okay, so that's how I prioritize my possible trade setups. Then we'll look at the pound yen. Where is my pound yen? There it is. All right, it got up. We were expecting it to test that 164 level and turn down. Didn't do that. It broke higher. It went as high as 165.50 before retracing back down again. So if we went to the H4 time frame, this was what we were talking about, right? So we're looking at, it came to this point was in Feb, hit the level, a big strong retrace down. The last time it broke this level was in December last year, where we saw a big strong push to the downside. So what I am looking for here again on the H1 time frame, sell down. The safer option will be now is at 164.56. I would say look for it to break 164, then sell it down. Break 164, so about 163.80. Stop loss about 40-50 pips. Take profit about 150 to the downside, 1:3 with that hesitation level at about that 163.20 level. Call me Meh. Meh. I'm new to trading. Would you recommend anything so I can perfect the craft? I recommend, and I hope everyone else on TradingView who sees that chat would support me on this, is I recommend that you attend this session every day. Right? I would say more serious note is to possibly take on your trades on a more trend following scenario. So you see that a lot of the trades that we're identifying today, possible trade setups that we're identifying today, is in the counter trend scenario, right? We're looking at reversals, we're looking at retracements, corrections, back down again because of that renewed dollar strength. So this might be a situation where, if you're new to trading, you would sit out, take a break, not do anything, just because you want to be more trend following. Okay, so I would say that that would be one of the things that I'll recommend to a lot of new traders: follow the trend. John Joe Rosso, we did euro dollar. I'll do a recap on that shortly for you. Okay. So, where's my pound yen? So, for those of you who might have missed parts of it and parts of this session, we do have this summary sheet which will be published right after the session. If I don't forget, if I do, then it'll be slightly after the session. But it'll be there, so you can do a quick recap on what we talked about as well. Pound yen looking to sell down below one at about 163.80, 40, 50 pip stop loss, 150 pip take profit. Okay. So 163 dot, and I'm terrible with numbers. 80. It's funny to say that I'm terrible with numbers. Stop loss 50, TP 150. Attending this session has helped me a lot in seeing the markets different. You're most welcome there. Thank you there. I'm Miko. Okay, and then so for John Joroso, I would say euro dollar went up, tested, hit our level. I'll take that away as well. So I hit my take profit there. Now retracing back down, I would be looking for a reaction at this 1.0860 level. If the dollar strength does continue, then we're going to likely see this break. Then we could be looking to sell down 108.55, about 20 pip stop loss, about 50 pip take profit to the downside towards the support level at 108, round number. So that would be where we're looking for. All right, hope that helps you, John Joroso. And then next up, I see your question on US 30. I'll get to that after gold. Haven't done gold. Gold went up, didn't sustain the move, pushed back down. Why it's pushing back down now? Because of that dollar strength, right? The inverse relationship on gold and the dollar. So it's pushing back down now. We're coming back into this range. It's coming back into this range between that 1975 and that 1964 level. Okay, so I could even see it come back down here and then bounce back up. So it's just that range. Even if we did that, you can see that it's a bit of an ascending channel, right? So we're looking for it to come down towards 1964. I wouldn't be looking to trade this. I just don't like it being right in the middle of that resistance and support level. So gold, again, no trade, chill. By 1980 up towards that didn't happen, so I'll say no trade, chill on gold. That's what I'm doing on my MFF, my forex fund account. I'm chilling on gold right now, just letting it develop and finding a clearer direction in either levels. Okay, take that away. Let me just see. Okay, all right, cool. Then we'll get to US 30. I have Swiss franc and US CAD to do as well. That's my US 30. I think the last time we spoke about this, we said that it's going to come to this point, similar to what happened here in March, early March, to turn down. Looks like it's going to do the same thing, going to push lower, inverse relationship with the dollar. Dollar strengthening is going to cause the index to drop. So it's currently at 32,827. I'll be looking for it to come down maybe towards 32,600 or 614. Looks like quite a big drop. Looks like it could be quite a big drop, but also you notice that there's a slight double top formation there as well. So we're looking for this to come down towards that 32,614 level. All right. I hope I answered your question there. I am Miko. Okay, I will do US Swiss franc, I'll do the CAD, and then I'll answer your question there, Lydia, on the Euro Yen. Okay, so Swiss franc, look at that, it went down. Oops, zoom it in. Went down, came to test that support level, very similar to what we saw here on the 23rd last week, and then now bouncing back up. Okay, I didn't get into this trade, although we signaled this as a setup, or highlighted this as a setup. At this point, if the dollar continues to rise, then we're going to see this push higher, right? We're going to see this push higher, upwards, buying up there, 20, 25 pips stop loss. You could go for a 50 pip, 60 pip take profit, back up towards the resistance level. It needs a sustained move on the dollar to push up. I would actually say stay out, right? Just because for a sustained move on the dollar to push up, there's possibly a lot of other currency pairs to trade compared to the Swiss franc at this point in time, right? We've identified so many different counter trend pairs already. This one being in the range and having that mid-level right about there, right? So if I did say buy it up, then you might want to wait for this to close 50 pip to a 25 or 30 pip, then you would have to decide halfway. So that decision point at 15 pips is just a bit too near for this setup. So I would say possibly avoid the US Swiss franc at this point in time. Okay. Hesitation at 1940. Yeah, came close. Okay. So I would say no trade. Then we look at the US CAD bouncing back up. Okay, US CAD bouncing back up. You can see here, we spoke about this yesterday, didn't break that level or didn't hit our entry level, bouncing back up. Right, bouncing back up. Okay, this was the more aggressive entry that we spoke about. This is a safer one we spoke about. So the more aggressive one came down a little bit, hit that hesitation level of 1.3513 before bouncing back up. So let's take these away. Right now, you can see it's broken that trend line. It's approaching that resistance level. That dollar strength is, it all comes down to this one question. Is the DXY going to break 102.40 and climb towards 102.80? If that does happen, we've got a lot of trades to work out on. This could push up, breaking above that resistance. You could be looking for a long position, even a bit safer at about 1.3570. Take profit 60, 70 pips. Stop loss can be tight at about 35 or 1:2 risk reward ratio to the upside there for the US CAD. Okay, so 135.75. You guys would notice as well, it's all counter trend trades right now. So you can pretty much anticipate what I'll be doing today. Nothing much. Buying from 1.3575, 1.3575, 35 and 70. Okay. 1.3575, stop loss 35, TP 70. Okay, so there we have it. A quick one on the pound Swiss franc. We looked at this yesterday. Didn't trade up, didn't hit that resistance. So we would say that let's just take that away. That was not triggered, didn't happen. Okay, national. Do help me out. Click that like button on YouTube. Click that little rocket ship button on TradingView if you haven't already. We have more rocket ships on TradingView than we have on YouTube. So come on, guys. All right, and also here is the link. Do help me out with filling out that survey link. Just want to find out more about you guys. Then we look at the Euro Yen. It's in that range. Let me just clear this out. This looks weird. We have a big range there. If I drag it right across. Okay, so there we've got a range there. Looks like it's going to turn down. We have a big upward trend line there. Looks like it's supported beyond 145.57. Do we have a next level? We have another one here at 146.70. Okay, so we are looking at that. I would say that let me just do this. Just check some levels. Just not something I look at a lot, so I'm just checking some levels. 23.6 is right there, so that makes sense. Back to the H1. Okay, so now, well, the levels look the same. I should have just deleted the lines. It looks the same. With the way the yen is looking like it's pushing up, looking for that trade, and the euro dollar possibly sitting right across or hopefully trading a bit lower, I would say that we could see it push up to test 145.57 or 60 again. Might have some difficulty climbing up, right? Might have some difficulty to push significantly to the upside. So we could be looking for this push back down again. So looking for a rejection of 145.60 to possibly trade down towards that 144 level. We need a rocket booster engine. Well, I'm happy you did click once, so I'm happy if everyone clicks once. That's all good. Do fill out that link when you get a chance as well. Okay, so that's the euro yen. All right. So any other questions? Let's do a quick review. Hey, the Kiwi dollar is pushing lower. So I'm still looking for this to trade down. I think the Aussie is coming close to that selling opportunity. We are seeing that happening. It's testing that trend line. If it breaks that trend line and that 0.6670 level, right? I want it to break this point, close below 6665. You can look to sell that down. That's happy. I'm happy with that. Oddly, the yen is just spiked down. Just as I looked at it, well, looking for it to test. Hey, if it does test and bounce back up, then it will follow exactly this line. So I'll be looking for that. So yen not ready. Aussie coming very close. Pound dollar right at that line that we say was going to hesitate at. So this is a bit of a higher risk move. Euro dollar still waiting a little bit. If this pushes up, it could influence the US, the euro yen. Swiss franc trading back down. That's one reason why I said no trade. You can see tested dollar index tested this 102.40 and looks like it's retracing a little bit. Don't be fooled, not yet. US CAD could be pushing up, looking for that. So I think I'll rank the Aussie quite high, and also the US CAD quite high. And then second place would be yen, especially if it bounces off this level. And then euro if it does break this point. Gold not doing too much, just fluctuating along this range. Pound yen, gonna have to wait a little bit, I think, together with euro yen trading lower, being dragged down a bit by the yen right across the board. Okay. So with that said, any further questions? If you haven't already, thumbs up, rocket ship button. Someone engineer a booster on the rocket ship. But do remember, end of the week, end of the month, end of the quarter, there is a news event for the US, the core PC price index. It might very well come to the situation where there is no trade, no attractive trade for you for today, despite of what we have identified. So please remember, don't force a trade. If there's nothing, sit it out. Wait for next week. We do have a whole bunch of news next week, right? So next, save your ammo, save the heartache, because next week we have the Aussie cash rate, Aussie interest rate decision is going to be there. The New Zealand with the interest rate decision to be there as well. And then we have unemployment numbers, we have non-farm numbers to come from the US. Okay. And I'll just do one last quick one is also, I don't know what's going player. Okay, you guys can check out. I did some analysis here for these guys. So if you want a quick early view, this is what I was talking about on the US yen. Right, on the US yen, looking for it to get to that 133 level and then that 135. And more importantly was where was it? Aussie cash rate decision. So I did an early preview on the Aussie cash rate, wrote it up, a bit of a pattern there. Prices has moved a little bit, but it looks like it's retracing back to this range. So it's all there for you guys to check it out. All right. So with that said, please have a good weekend. I look forward to see you all again next week. Every day, 3 p.m. GMT plus 8. We might not do a session on Friday next week despite the non-farm payrolls because it is Good Friday. Got to go to church. So with that said, trade well, trade safe, and take care now. Bye-bye.